Hey guys, what's going on? Wanted to come on for a little bit and discuss a few things. I got word that I could discuss a little bit because we've sent in all our information on the Jay Slater case. So there's a little bit I can talk about, and one thing I really want to talk about is I know we all have our opinions and our theories on this case, right? We do. And so it's not going to change. I mean, it's going to change a little bit, but it's not going to change it a lot because some of what we thought was that somebody else had his phone anyway. But what I want to know now is why his phone was there around 6:27 a.m. all the way to 8:49 and 54, I believe. Right at 8:50 a.m. before his phone went off. Now, one thing that is hard to figure out is why his phone went off. Did it go off from no battery? Did it go off because somebody turned it off? Right? That's one thing that we got to try to look at. And it might be something that we can't figure out, and it might be something we can figure out. There's a few options out there. So we're going to try to look into those options and see. But for the most part, at least we know that his phone did ping in that last bridge area. That's the last time his phone pinged, period. Except for the activity that went on after. But that was, you got to remember, that was law enforcement most likely trying to get into his phone and use his phone to locate even a better ping. That's usually what happens. And I know people always jump out and say, well, his phone's on, so he's using it. No, it doesn't mean it that way, guys. It's kind of like I compare it to the Caleb Harris case where they cloned his phone. Law enforcement came out and said the activity on his phone is due to our investigation. It's because they were cloning his phone to get all the data out of his phone, text messages, phone calls, call logs, all that, Instagram, Snapchats, Facebooks, doesn't matter. They can get it all. And because they basically just recreated a SIMS card for his phone and put it in a phone, right? That's what they do. But then it makes his activity come to life because they're searching his activity. And so that's one thing that I don't know if people really understood, but it's a thing that they do a lot now with phones. If they can't find someone, if they can't find a missing hiker or anything like that, they can utilize those tools and to help them locate this person to rescue and save them. That's what it's about. Proving crime and saving people. So it's a tool that I think should be used, right? In every case that it needs to be used in. In this case especially, because we're trying to figure out, did he have his phone? Did he not have his phone? And I know now his phone, where they're saying it pinged last, is where it pinged last. And that's the one thing that puts that phone there. No matter what we say or do or talk about, his phone was in that location. So, but something else that bothers me is that, and I don't know, like I said, what time everybody went where, or who everybody was doing what, but the thing that's crazy to me is that Brandon's phone was in that area too. 6:27 a.m. I mean, all that time, 5:44 a.m. Like, it's weird. And I don't know if he was looking for Jay or trying to get Jay or help Jay or looking for Jay or what. I don't know what was going on. Because we don't really know the truth, I don't feel. We don't know exactly what happened. We don't know if Jay was even there. We know his phone was there, but we can't, say if he's there. A lot of people saying he had an air tag on his bag, but that's never talked about. Only the phone pings. That's what doesn't make sense. If there is or was an air tag in that bag, I think that law enforcement would have utilized that tool, and they would have talked about it like they did the cell phone. And I know that there's supposed to be something coming out pretty soon about some of the investigation stuff. From what I understand and what I'm hearing through the grapevine, if my sources are correct, there is going to actually be some kind of little thing put out about this case. So I'm praying and waiting, and I think it'll be great if they do discuss a little bit about it and maybe some of this stuff and why this phone was doing this. I think they need to step up to the plate and let everybody know. I know sometimes they do their investigations and they just keep everything so tight-lipped that nobody knows about it. But when you see this much activity, you know what's going on, and that's a wonderful thing. I'm not saying it's not a wonderful thing. We need them to be looking at this. We need them to see if all thousands and thousands and thousands of people are correct, or if they're correct on that island, right? That's one thing that we need to figure out. And so that's why I say, I feel like they're looking at this case and trying to make their decision. But you got to remember, guys, just because one investigator or two investigators say yes, it's still got to go above their heads, right? Then it still has to go through the entire justice system, because what that means is warrants will have to be filed, all kinds of stuff will have to be done, right? You'll have to talk to prosecutors and, all these different people, DAs, and it'll just have to go up the ladder. But it all starts with the investigators. That's how investigations get started, is with that person saying, yes, I think, and then, everybody that trusts this person says, okay, yeah, I think you're right. They'll look at it, then the higher ups will look at it, and then they'll base it on their decision. They'll say, okay, can you prosecute, can you not, right? And then if they say, yeah, I think we got enough to prosecute, or maybe let's give us a little time to get a little more, I don't know. Sometimes they have to have certain things in order for them to allow them to do it, because it's a lot of manpower and a lot of money, right? But it's worth it, because it's worth it when there's this much stuff that doesn't add up. Now, if it was just a couple of lies, no, I would say they're probably not going to do it. But with the amount of lies and still lying, yeah, that makes a difference. And I feel justice for Jay Slater is going to come, guys. I do. I think that it's going to shock a lot of y'all when shit does hit the fan. But I do feel now confidently that something's going to be done. I mean, of course, allegedly it's my opinion, but I'm just, based on what I'm hearing, it's from sources that I really do trust, it's coming. And that's an amazing, wonderful thing if that's what comes, And it could have been any one of you that sent in something that made them do this, right? We don't know. We know we've sent in our stuff, and we'll see what happens. But just because they're opening, just because they're doing this, they were doing this before we sent them anything. His phone activity started after he went missing, and it's been hit like 3 different times. So I'm telling me that they're looking at something, they're probably getting a warrant for this, and they're getting a warrant for that. Facebook, you got to get warrants for all that stuff. So they probably are getting things for, Telegram and Snapchat. They got to get all the warrants to pull all those things, and then they can clone them. Then they can find out what he was saying and all that stuff. Now, the thing that's going to make things a little difficult is going to be the passcode part. Did he have a fingerprint passcode, an eye scan passcode? Did he have just a regular type-in passcode? And who all had his passcode? Did anybody else have his passcode? Or did somebody change his passcode? I don't know. The one thing that red flagged me was sharing my location. Sometimes when you share location, people can get into your phone, right? If you're good enough and smart enough, if you're sharing location, you can get into their phones. You can get into their Google. You can get into all that stuff when you're sharing a location. Remember that. So you got to remember which, one of them asked to share the location with him. But what never made sense is if you're going to share the location with someone, that's because you're coming to pick them up. Like, I'm going to come and get you, right? But how could somebody come get you if they're already in the area? That didn't make sense. But that's for another topic. But anyway, I kind of wanted to come on and just talk a little bit about it this morning because before I go back to work. And I just wanted to say those few things that, we know now that I can confidently say it. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm confidently going to say I believe that they are investigating this case, and I think something's going to come out within before the year. That's how I feel. I feel about that in the Sebastian Rogers case. I just said it last night. I think that after talking to people, that some of my sources, that justice is coming for Sebastian any day now. And so I can, confidently say, if my sources are right, then something's going on, and they're already viewing it. So that's wonderful and great news, in my opinion. But just remember, guys, trigger warning, but justice for Jay Slater's a must. We're not giving up on anyone. I was just told by my team to tone down a little bit because they didn't want me telling everything out there, because what if other people are trying to use what I'm saying, right? Or, I don't know if that's the case. I'm just saying, what if, I keep putting stuff out and then other people try to use it and twist it, right? I don't want that. So it's better if I just don't talk about it all until I'm confident to talk about it. But I know I can, right? So it's either understand or you don't understand, right? It doesn't matter to me. Y'all know that I'm fighting for this young man. And I spent a lot of time on this case. And I know an awful lot about it as well. I know more than I can talk about, but that's okay. It's how it's supposed to be. But we'll figure it out together. We'll go through it together. I'm gonna do a fire chat tonight and break down a little bit of the information, so that way some of y'all that have been asking, you can get your answers. That way, you don't have to keep commenting about it. But and it's only a couple of people. It's not a lot. It's only like 2 people, and y'all, everybody knows who they are. But it's okay. They'll learn, I guess, as we go, if they stick around. That everything will come to light, right? That's what I always say. Everything always comes to light. So I will be releasing everything I got, and I feel confident that I'm not saying what we sent in is going to work. I'm just saying I think they were already doing it. And that was kind of my hunch anyway, and based on phone activity, about how his stuff keeps coming to life. And 3 times over the time that he's been missing, that he was missing to found and then to now. So 3 times, that's a lot of times. That means that's probably 3 search warrants at least, which tells me that's a good little pattern, right? That means that they're doing more than what people think they're doing, and they also want justice for Jay, and I think they do. I think it puts so much pressure on everyone, and that's what sometimes social media does. It helps us in a way that we don't realize it helps us, but all the pushing, all the pressure, they don't see that and feel that. Just because y'all aren't the ones calling their office every day, there's a lot of people calling those police departments and investigators every day or every other day asking, are you going to do anything? Are you going to do anything? There's people emailing. I spoke to people. I know that they're getting hundreds of emails a day sometimes. So I know that people are sending things in and they're concerned, and I know they know that. And I feel like they really wanted to join this search from the beginning. They did. They asked twice. Very nicely asked as well. And were turned down both times by the island of Tenerife Spanish police, right? They turned them down both times. So they've been invested since the start of this case, right? And they all want justice, just like they want justice more than we do. That's why they're in the job they're in. That's how I see it. I know a lot of y'all don't feel that way, but I feel that they're fighting more than y'all know. But anyway, guys, just wanted to drop a little bit, but we'll see y'all tonight. On fire chat. I'm going to do a fire chat about Jay, and I might talk a little bit about one of the other cases along with Jay. I might talk about Claudia a little bit too, because I've gotten some information on that case. But I will keep y'all posted, and like I said, we'll do a little chat tonight on Jay Slater, and we have not forgot about him. We just scaled back a little bit, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's for Jay, and that's why we're doing it. We're not doing this for y'all. We're doing it for Jay Slater. So that's how I feel. If I feel it's best to slow it down for his case and for his sake, then yeah, that's what I'm going to do. But anyway, guys, y'all be good. Y'all be safe. We love y'all, guys. We'll see y'all tonight. Justice for Jay Slater. Justice for all the voices that don't have a voice to fight. That's who we have to pray for. That's who we have to fight for. So we'll see y'all on the next one, guys. Y'all be good. Be safe. Remember, allegedly, these are all my opinions. Just my theories, my thoughts, my speculations of what I think happened. Justice for Jay Slater's a must. Y'all know that. Trigger warning times 100 million. Y'all's comments, y'all's and y'all's alone. We do our research together because we're a big-hearted little family. So let's keep up the fight for Jay. You know, I say that every day. I say a prayer every day for this young man that justice will be. And if I didn't feel that something wasn't right, then I wouldn't be doing this. So anyway, y'all guys be good, be safe. We love y'all guys. We'll talk on the next one. All right, guys. Bye.